The next number in this piece is the number 10. This piece is called Section 10, 8 Sun Dream, or S10, 8 SND. In the month of July 9th, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was outside somewhere and it was dark out. I believe I was in an American city, maybe in a rural location. Next I seen trees and grass. Then I looked up into the sky and I beheld the same reddish or orange spherical object I've been dreaming about a great deal. But this time around I felt that now I was in space and I was watching the reddish object from probably a few miles away. I was in space, many miles in space above the earth. I believe I was watching the reddish object through a heat searching telescope, or maybe through an infrared device or infrared telescope, because the object looked diced up and fuzzy. Then I heard a news reporter cheerfully speaking about this thing in space, and the news reporter voice was not known to me. The news reporter sounded like a white woman, and she said more or less, the thing in space is called a companion sun, and it comes in our space once every some odd million years. It will pass Earth. I got the impression she was promoting this reddish sphere in space as a harmless, spectacular space show that can safely be enjoyed by anyone who will be interested about looking up at this object as it flies past Earth. Then I began to pick up that while I was still in space, people in my country, United States, in my nation, in my country, was now buying great deals of telescopes and binoculars so that they can take a closer look at the second sun as it approached the Earth. Before I left this dream, I seen another of my nephew in his house. He's like still a baby, but he was trying to speak at the age of 1 or whatever. And so after I took notice, my nephew was trying to speak. I believe a male voice said these words behind me. The male voice said, "Go north." And then I believe I yelled down at the people who are upon the earth to also go north. I'm yelling at the people down in America, so I believe when I said to the people to go north, I meant for them to go north, like to Alaska, not to Canada, since Canada is another country, but go up north to Alaska. And I have a drawing of what I seen in space. Okay. This is what I seen. It was all black in space. I didn't see any stars, but this was like in front of me, in a far distance. And like I said, it looked at dicey or chopped up. And like I said, I could have been looking at it through infrared telescope or whatever. Okay, the next number in this piece is the number 11. This piece is called Section 10, 1 Shelter Dream, or S10, 1 SHL TRD. Alright. In the month of September 25th, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. I dreamt that I briefly seen people from the inner cities. And that these people were in shelters or a school gymnasium. I seen people lying on the floor, resting or sleeping or doing both. I then seen someone who looked like Whoopi Goldberg lying down with some of the inner city folks. She was smiling. Next I seen a friend of mine named David standing. He was looking at me while he had both his elbows at shoulder length. He was doing this at shoulder length. And it appeared to me, or it almost looked as if he was trying to take a ring off his middle finger, like he's trying to do this. Or he was pulling his right middle finger to crack it. He was wearing a long sleeve dark colored dress shirt, or it was like, it could have been a short sleeve dark shirt. And I believe he was wearing also a pair of blue jeans. And I also sensed while I seen David inside his dream that there was a lot of terrible things was going outside of this gymnasium or outside of this shelter, and that this place was more or less being crowded up quickly. People was running into the shelter from out off the streets. Then I woke up from this particular dream. The next number in this piece is the number 12. This piece is called Section 10, 9 Sun Dream, or S10, 9 SND. In the month of October 11, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt about a light dream that involved our son. The first thing I remember was that I was speaking to someone while I was watching a Christian movie with others inside a kind of classroom. And this Christian movie was about the end times. Then after the movie, I stood inside a hallway that had lockers. Then a tall black, light-skinned or brown-skinned black woman, about the age of 30 I would say, approached me, and then she kissed me and hugged me before she left my presence. She said something to me before she left. I did not pick up what she might have said, but I believe she said to me, "I'll see you soon." Then I turned around towards the lockers that were behind me. I squatted down and I opened one of the lockers, lower lockers. I was gathering up or inspecting my 3 pairs of black footwear. I think all of my footwear were old and not smelling too well. Then a black man appeared over me. This black man reminded me of a friend that I worked with at one of my last jobs. He appeared to be in his 60s. He and I were wearing spring or summer wear. I appeared to be. It appeared to me that he was wearing a beige vest with puffy pockets over his chest area. We talked about the movie, I believe. Then the last thing that took place inside this dream was, now I was staring at homes that stood before me. I might have been on the roof of my old house at Asher Street, or I might have been here at Halsey Street. I believe it might have been an afternoon, or maybe it was an early morning. It was hard to tell. And there were a small amount of fog or mist in the air. Then my eyes looked upon a huge spherical object that looked like our sun. This thing was over the homes across the street from me. And then I noticed a thin, large mist ring, or a ring of mist around this object that looked like our sun. This circular misty ring might have even been the sun itself. It was hard to tell. If it was the sun, then the sun expanded in size, probably by 20 or 30%. And I spotted black circles all around its surface. I believe these black circles were inflamed sunspots. I was not afraid of the sunspots on the sun but I was quite befuddled, or quite confused. I don't understand exactly what was before me. Anyhow, this dream made such a lasting impression upon me that I made a drawing of it. Okay, these may be the homes across the street here in the Halsey Street area, or maybe the homes across the street in the Asher Street area in Brooklyn. Anyhow, this is what I see. The ring light mist around the sun. It could have been the sun itself or whatever. And then I seen these inflamed black sunspots on the face of the sun. The reason why I use the word inflamed, because they were like, I won't say blowing up, but it was like flaming up, like, and this is what I seen on the surface of the sun, or whatever it was. The next number in this piece is the number 13. This piece is called Section 10, One Subway Dream, or S10-1 SBWD. In the month of October 23rd, 2010, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was underground somewhere. I believe I might have been inside a subway system. I was sitting beside a thin-faced old black woman who had a great deal of bummy clothing, or had a great deal of bundles of clothes. I believe she was seated in a tunnel, or she was seated in a tunnel, and there was she was sitting in a tunnel, and she was sitting on a car seat that still was connected to the let me see here. Okay, it was more or less a car seat, but it was a passenger side of the car seat. Matter of fact, it was two car seats. She sat in the driver's side of the car seat, and I sat in the passenger side of the car seat. So there was two seats inside this tunnel that eventually was ripped out of a car somewhere. Okay, the car seats were light gray. This woman was telling me about when it's the best time to get food, which was when a diner or restaurant closed, and they throw out food that was put in the trash bags. We were in a kind of room which was kind of dirty, and it was also kind of cozy at the same time. I believe I seen a couple of stoops that had led slightly up to a doorway or something that would lead you out of this little tunnel beside this, subway station. And I felt we was like more or less in the end part, or like a cul-de-sac part of the subway. It was like a dead end. So what I seen in front of me was more or less a dead end, and like I said, it was a stoop that led to a door. And I think I was able to see a few other tunnels that was more or less leading into this final tunnel inside the subway where the lady sat in car chairs.